Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's had a good week. I'm sorry I'm not all dialed up. This isn't one of those type of messages. I have had a really interesting week. Um, my weekend was horrible. I'm not gonna lie. Saturday was a nightmare, and Saturday to Monday, basically all the way up until the evening time, was a nightmare for me. It was full of rage and resentments, and I mean, we're talking about resentments from 30 years ago. I'm serious. I'm not lying. And I hated the individual that did it to me. And when I say hated, I truly meant that I was feeling it in my heart. The animosity, the resentment, and the hatred, and the hurt. But I raged on all weekend. I had migraines 2 days in a row. My nerves were shot. I couldn't talk to nobody in my family without fighting because no one was listening to me. Everyone was trying to fix me. And by fixing me, I mean they were trying to let me know, well, look, you did this, and it. And when you bring up things that I've done, I get defensive, and it's like, ah, ah, ah. So everything just kind of compiles and no one gets through because once I'm there, it ain't gonna happen. But I do know over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday, I was begging and pleading God to please take it away. Take it away. I can't take this no more. I was hurting. My head just raced with all these hatred, malicious thoughts. My heart, it was just full of this stabbing pain. The only way I can describe it is like when you break up with someone and you don't really want to lose that person, but they're gone to you forever, and then you have to live knowing that they're happier. What, you know what I'm talking about? That pain. That's what it felt like. A frog in my throat, stabbing my heart, punching my gut, and all these thoughts racing all the time. And I kept begging and pleading God to please take them away. Please, I can't. I can't do this no more. I feel like I'm about to snap. And my mom, I had gotten into it with my mom. I had gotten into it with my sister, my daughter, Charlie. Anybody and everyone within biting range got bit. And I'm not nice when I bite. I do. I go for your throat. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And that's what I was being, a disgusting person, and I didn't like that about myself, and I kept begging and pleading God to take it away. And for whatever reason, it wasn't going anywhere. It would just get worse. And it would just, I felt so abused and used and alone, and just, I felt like nobody. I just wasn't important. And my brother called me, and he's listening to me vent, and he's trying to calm me down, and we're talking, and he's letting me know what I'm doing so that I'm aware of what I'm doing. And I guess I got quiet enough to accept the fact that I really meant I wanted it gone. And I felt this, I don't know, it felt like somebody had poured a bowl of something over my head, but it engulfed my entire head. And it just ran down my head, and I felt all those hateful thoughts disappear. They just gone. I mean, I'll never forget them, but the pain that it brought, the hatred, and just all of that was just gone out of my head. And I felt it going down my face, and it got to my throat, and it took that frog out of my throat so that it wasn't there no more, and I was able to swallow. And then that pain in my heart was gone, and then my stomach. And I felt it all the way to my feet. And it was just gone. And I was left with this, I was just emotionally depleted. And I was crying, and I don't know how to explain it. I wasn't angry anymore. And I wasn't crying anymore from anger, but relief. I was so relieved that I could breathe, that I could just feel my heartbeat without that pain. And all of that hatred, it was just gone. It's just gone. I don't, I read the Bible the next morning, and he said that he spread the anger amongst the trees. There's one angry forest out there, I'm going to tell you that right now, but I have been living in a euphoric state since Monday. I'm still stumbling around, and I've noticed that there are things that I once loved, like Halloween. It's just not anything to do with like the zodiac, which is dabbling. It is dabbling. I'm not even interested in that anymore. There's things that I listen to that I'm just... My focus right now is I'm thirsty. My soul is so thirsty and unquenchable right now. All I want to do is whatever I have to do to please Him. He gave me the peace I was searching for, and He can give it to you too. You just have to believe in Him, and you have to pray. And even if it doesn't happen when you want it that day, as long as you keep praying, you will eventually get answered. And when you get answered, it's beautiful. It's just so incredible. I wish I could bottle that feeling of it, just how everything slowly, one by one, just went away. The pains that I was feeling, the hatred, it's gone. All of the resentments from 30 years ago, from childhood, it's all gone. It's like I'm a whole new slate. And all I want to do with that slate is whatever it's going to take to make Him happy. And I know He wants you to shout His name from the rooftops. And what's a bigger rooftop than social media? So I'm shouting it from the rooftops. God is good. God is great. God was good when I had cancer and He healed me. I had stage 4 cervical cancer, a tumor the size of a football. I was a gone girl. And people I thought that hated me had me on a prayer list in Rome. I was on a prayer list in Rome. And I was healed. And I've been healed for like almost 4 years now. I haven't had any cancer. I've had health issues from everything else. But nothing's been life-threatening like the cancer was. It's just issues I have to deal with, like my hip. I had to have a hip replacement a couple of months back. And then right after I had hip replacement, I had to go into the emergency room and stay at the hospital for the weekend because I started bleeding. And they had to, of course, get that to stop because I'm also anemic. So all I know is God has always been there for me. But I chose the world, and I had fun. I did my things. But when I sit back and I really look at it now through the new eyes that God gave me Monday, I really wasn't having fun. I was just trying to fit in, and I was just trying to be accepted. Because going down the other path there was a lot less people and a lot less fun. But that's not true. Because there's so much real happiness on the road that I took, that I didn't take. I'm sorry, that I didn't take. I am happy right now. I am. Even though I'm crying, I promise you there are tears of joy because I know that there are people that want the same peace that I have. And I wish I had an answer, but the only answer I can tell you is you just have to lose the world. You're going to have to put it behind you. You're going to have to stop making excuses and saying this is okay and letting acceptance of things that you're not supposed to in. And we're not supposed to be accepting anything that's going on right now. We're not. Not at the level it's at. It's not in God's plan. All this is that's going on right now is evil, and it's all in the Bible, and it was all prophesied that this is what was going to happen. And there's a lot of things that are going on right now that people can't explain. And even though it's conspiracy theories, if you listen to them, they're not far off the mark. I mean, Oreo cookies, who would have thought? Monster drinks, who would have thought? I'm serious. My eyes have been open to things that we have been so blinded to, thinking, oh, well, I'll listen to this song. And the whole time they're talking about going to the devil. And we're sitting there beating and grinding to it and singing the songs all the time. Think about all those things. That's all the world. That's the sin of the world. And it seems like fun. You have money. You have all these people hanging around you. But then when you fall, and you will fall, where do they all go? They're not there no more because they were only there while you were satisfying their need to sin. Once you're not sinning anymore, they don't want you around anymore because then you're going to poo-poo all over their parade. Well, we need to start poo-pooing all over what they're doing now so that they can see God is much more powerful. And He is, because even Satan trembles.